Hey, what's going on, everybody? Knowledge here. I got a chance to check out Hidden Colors 3 at the Wilshire location in Beverly Hills this past Thursday. And, I thought it was a great documentary. There was a lot of people out there. Tariq Nasheed was out there for a minute. And it was just, when I got there, it was just a great atmosphere, just to see a whole bunch of black people coming out to learn or support something that is for us. Because a lot of times I feel like, we'll go out and we'll support things that are not beneficial to us, will not educate us, pretty much just display us as being coon sambos or people who just want to act like a buffoon. And when I sat back and watched the documentary, there was a lot of information there, a lot of things that I might have known of or read about or did my research on. And there was a few things that I wasn't aware of. They spoke on organ donating, which I spoke about that in a lot of my later videos about how they use a lot of organs that come from black people because of our DNA and just the structure of our body and the ins and outs and ends of it. You had a lot of cats in there that was dropping knowledge. You had Nas in there. You had Dr. Umar. You had Dick Gregory. You had Paul Moon. There was a lot of people in there that was speaking truth to power. Another thing they got into, of course, racism. They touched on the Trayvon Martin case, and they explained how racism and slavery and how it transgressed into today's time, and how a lot of this stuff is hidden and it's underlined, and you really have to be able to dissect a lot of things in order to pick up racism, because a lot of times racism nowadays is very subtle, and a lot of our brothers and sisters out here are not quick on the draw and don't understand when they're being insulted, when they're being used, or when racism is blatantly in front of them. So they really went into that. I thought that was excellent. They got on wow, just so much information in the documentary. But they talked about segregation, and I've spoken on this too in a lot of my videos, that I felt like segregation was something that was it was more, I would say, from a business point of view, it didn't hurt us. But I think that because of the efforts from Dr. King and a lot of those black leaders out there, we felt like that we had to be a part of white society. And when we integrated with them, it was more of a bad economical move from us, because we had more economical power and more businesses during the Jim Crow era, and we really didn't need to be integrated with white folks. But a lot of people felt like, just like I said, with the efforts of Dr. King and et cetera, people felt like that we had to be able to share, and we had to be able to do the same things that white people do. And really, that was really a slave mentality, because since the beginning of time, we have always felt like, well, we have to be able to do and live in the same communities and do this and do that the same as white folks do. When really, when we look at the Jim Crow era, when we had a lot of businesses, or the Harlem Renaissance era, we had a strong economical base. We were employing our own people. We had our own businesses. And when they brought integration, and they said, okay, we'll let you little Negroes come over here and sit at our tables and come in our restaurants, but it was for the black dollar. It wasn't because they really wanted black people to be a part of them, or they wanted America to just get along and we all just collectively be identified as Americans. It was for an economical thing, where we can go over there and we can buy things that white people might buy, or we can spend money in their restaurants and their businesses, because they knew that was money. When really, we could have just said, you know what, you guys don't want to be a part of us, whatever, go to hell. We're going to stay in our own community, build our own community up. The hell with the white people and integration. So this was something that, what was really something that was somewhat detrimental to us. But, we always have a certain amount of black people who feel like, they have to be a part of white society. They got to work up there, in the big mega corporate companies with white folks, and they got to move to the white neighborhood in order to feel like they're better, or they somehow have some type of high level of being a Negro here in America. So, you know, the documentary really touched on a lot of different topics that I feel like our people need to hear about, need to start speaking about, and it also gave some solutions. And, you know, I thought that was very important because that's what I try to do in my videos. I try to not only point out what's going on in our society and what's coming in and out of the black community, but provide solutions so that we can go out here into the world, no matter what state you in, what country, whatever. You can go out there and you can build for your own people. And I think that we need to get out of the mindset of relying on the so-called dominance of society in order for us to progress our community. You know, we always need the white man or white woman in order to get to the next level, and we really don't need them. It's about us collectively coming together to make change. But overall, I thought it was a great documentary. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, you know, for that brother even going out and making a documentary like this. But when I believe it comes out on DVD July 4th, so you guys go check it out, go support it, go pick it up. If you haven't saw the previous two documentaries of Hidden Colors, check that out, because there's a lot of information, a lot of things that our people need to know. And, you know, we didn't just come from slavery. We came from, you know, from being kings and queens. And a lot of things that certain ethnicities or nationalities do or so-called identify with their culture, it came from us. They stole it from us. But, you know, all in all, great documentary. I advise everybody to go out and check it out. I'm out. Peace.